Hello, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I made a video about Nicolle and Tia ripping off fans. They're asking fans for money, and one fan that I know of sent them money because Nicolle promised she would pay him back double the next day, and that never happened. She just never paid him back and ghosted him, and I knew that after that video came out that there would probably be more people coming forward. I also got a message this morning from someone else that Nicolle sent the same exact message that she sent to the other dude asking for money to someone else. That second person didn't send her money or reply back after she asked for the money, but the first person I talked about in my video yesterday ended up sending her money. If you haven't seen that video already, check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. Also, someone sent me this older picture of Nicolle back in 2011. It looks like this is her little scene girl emo phase, and she just looks so different now. So I'm gonna do a recap of Daonte, Nicolle, and Tia in last night's episode of Life After Lockup. So Nicolle finally goes to her job interview at the tanning salon, and she brought in her resume and told the salon owner that she's worked at 3 different tanning salons before, so she has a lot of experience. So the salon owner noticed that there was a gap since Nicolle last worked, and Nicolle explained that she just got done doing 4 years in prison, but she was trying to turn her life around and do good, and she said getting a job is the first step. So the salon owner, she was up front, and she said, I have to know, what did you go to prison for? And Nicolle said, I'm going to be honest with you, I got charged with robbery. And she tried to make it sound better by saying, it's not like I robbed a store or anything, but come on, you still robbed someone. And Nicolle said, your store will be in good hands with me, you can trust me. And as soon as Nicolle told that lady what she went to prison for, you could see the look on the salon owner's face, and you could tell that salon owner wasn't about to hire Nicolle. So Nicolle said she felt like this interview couldn't have gone any more better, and I was like, what? In what world? And when you walk out the door after the interview and the salon owner tells you best of luck to you, I don't think she plans on calling you back. So even though Nicolle has experience working at 3 different tanning salons, the salon owner told her she had other applications to go through and consider, and she said a lot of them had a lot more experience than Nicolle. So Nicolle said if she doesn't get this job, she has no idea what she's going to do. So Nicolle comes out and tells Tia that she thinks she has the job in the bag, and Tia's like, you think you got everything in the bag? And she told Nicolle that she doesn't think that Nicolle should take this job. So Nicolle says Tia comes her money and her family takes care of her, so Tia does not understand the struggle. And Nicolle said, I know you are not thrilled with the idea of me talking to Daonte, but I don't think that is a door we should close. And Nicolle said Daonte was very sweet to her by giving her money and always buying her gifts. And every time she talks about Daonte, it's not like she talks about missing him or loving him or him as a person. She talks about what he did for her, and she only misses those parts. She only misses that wallet, pretty much. So Nicolle told Tia, hey, I can hit up Daonte, and that's easy money. And Tia said she isn't happy about it, but when Nicolle gets something in her head, she just goes for it. And Tia said that Daonte is just an idiot that's willing to spend his whole paycheck on a bad bee. So Tia was like, okay, if he's gonna be that dumb, then let's do it. So Nicolle calls Daonte, and of course dummy Daonte answers, and Nicolle was like, hey, what's up, it's been a minute. And Daonte was like, yeah, it's been like a whole 4 months, what's up? And Nicolle told Daonte that she thinks they should meet up and talk about things in person. Meanwhile, Derek, Daonte's best friend, was keeping it real and going off in the background like, WTF are you doing, Daonte? Leave her alone, and you're meeting up with her for what? And Nicolle told Daonte that she missed him, and Daonte took the bait and said, it's nice to hear from you, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. So Derek said, why are you so freaking stupid, bro? Derek was trying to talk some sense into Daonte, but just like Tia explained about Nicolle, I think Derek kind of knows Daonte's the same way, that once he gets this idea in his head that there's no stopping him. So Derek was still trying to talk sense into him and say, dude, it took you so long to get over her, and now you're being dragged back in. And Daonte told his best friend, look, The last time I ignored an ex, she passed, and I don't want to go through that again. And Daonte's last relationship before he met Nicolle was with Chelsea, and he met her while she was in prison. And after they fell out, Daonte started talking to Nicolle to try to get over Chelsea, and Chelsea was begging for Daonte back, and Daonte wouldn't do it. And then a few days later, Chelsea ended up passing away from taking too much drugs. So Daonte said he feels like if he would have gave Chelsea another chance and she might be here today. Daonte, you can't hold that weight on your shoulders. You can't blame yourself for doing what's best for you. And Derek said, look, you actually have some good memories with Chelsea. What good memories do you have with Nicolle? And Daonte couldn't even name one. So like I said before, Daonte is in love with the idea of being in love and with the idea of who he wishes Nicolle really was, but he ain't accepting the reality of who she really is as a person, and it's right there in his face. If the person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Just because you have a good heart, Daonte, doesn't mean that everyone else does. Just because you have pure intentions doesn't mean that everyone else does. You catch my drift? So Derek said Daonte is the king of all simps and asked Daonte, like, has she even apologized for anything? And didn't she pretty much leave you for another girl? So why are you entertaining her? So Daonte said, yes, she left me for some Justin Bieber, Machine Gun Kelly, Post Malone hybrid. And Derek said, then why would you give her any more chances? And Daonte said he would rather take a million risks and not take one at all. So Derek said there are tons of nice good girls out here that actually like Daonte and won't use him, and he wants the girl that did nothing for him. He never got a hit. He never even saw the cookie. And Daonte said it would eat him up inside if he didn't see what Nicolle wanted. And he said if he got a phone call that Nicolle passed away, then he would feel responsible for it and blame himself. Meanwhile, Tia told Nicolle that she supports Nicolle and will let Nicolle meet up with Daonte to get some money out of him. But Tia said she isn't going to let Nicolle go, especially for somebody like Daonte. I feel so bad for Derek. You know it has to be frustrating for him as a friend, especially with Daonte being his best friend, God knows how many years, to see your best friend just making such stupid decisions. And it's like Daonte talks about, oh, we had good times. When? Because all I saw was like you catching her sleeping with another ex every other day, it seemed like. And it kind of reminds me of Lacey. Like when Lacey called John and she says, yes, I don't know if I'm still in love with him, but he knows me better than Shane. And it's like all I can do is remember the good times, and that's all that stands out to me. And that seems to be the same situation with Daonte. When he thinks of Nicolle, he tries to think of all the good times, even though there were very few, instead of the bad times. And if you want to get over a toxic ex, you got to remember the bad times. Because if you're only trying to remember the good, it's almost like you're manipulating yourself into believing that this is something that it really isn't. Because this is not a healthy, happy relationship that you have with Nicolle. It was toxic, it was heartbreaking, and the bad outweighs the good in this situation. And he should steer far and clear away from Nicolle. That's just my personal opinion. Especially when it's been over 4 months since you last saw her and you're finally starting to get over her, and you're just rehashing that wound all over again and going back to square one. So let me know your thoughts about everything in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I also started a second channel where I'm going to be doing vlogs and more personal stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, the link is in the description. I haven't uploaded to that channel yet, but I'll be doing it very soon. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.